Hey guys, MDPrepper here, talking about my second project video that I'm going to start and would greatly appreciate your feedback on, is a Riverside basic camp kit. A basic little survival cache, if you will. Not necessarily for survival, I don't need food and all that other stuff in there other than maybe some granola bars or something. But if you saw my previous videos, you saw my Riverside property, you know, down by the river and all that. 1,000-foot of river frontage, and it's a ways down. It's quite a long way down, hiking wise, down and up, just to get there. It's not some place that you're going to want to carry gear up and down if you don't have to. If I'm going fishing, something like that, and that's my goal, sure, I'm going to carry my fishing gear down there. But as you saw in my previous videos, sometimes I need camping gear. Sometimes I might need a machete, a hatchet, a saw. With the storm coming in like it did, I got lucky and got out of there before the storm hit, but that was just pure luck. I was actually going to sit down there in the rain until things passed. So do I need a tarp? Do I need just anything? All sorts of options down there. Maybe a little survival filter straw to get some extra water, maybe a few extra bottles of water, that sort of stuff. Because honestly, it's too far down there for me to regularly be going up and down with heavy gear. Even if I get a vehicle, if I get a John Deere Gator or something like that, I still don't want to be loading things up and down and carrying it back and forth. So I need a storage container down there, and I may at some point build a building or structure down there to hold things. But if you check my video of down by the river, you'll see there's a little campsite, if you will, a little party site to have your fires and all that. And what I've been thinking is a storage container, something small, a little plastic container, Sterilite, something like that, Rubbermaid. This is a smaller one. Might use a bigger one with big clasps on the side, if you've seen that. I don't know yet. Holds a lot more, but I need some gear down there. I need cheap gear, inexpensive gear that I can sacrifice in case it happens to be stolen or just rust up too much. So I've got a lot of gear, but I'm looking for some input. So now this container was empty and stored in the garage, as it says here. Here, if you can see that on the top. But something this size would be the smallest I'd want. Maybe go for something larger that I can use some locks on to lock it closed and possibly chain it to a tree so that it doesn't move towards the river if we have flooding, or isn't easily stolen by anybody who's going down the riverside and, you know, floating down the river and sees this thing. Now, my property's fairly easy to conceal things, you know, with all the underbrush and all that. This would not be hard to shove up under some underbrush and gets lost. Maybe throw a tarp over it, something like that. So I'm looking for gear to fill this kit that is going to be useful when I'm down by the river. And I'm talking about a machete. I'm talking about an axe, a hand axe, a hatchet, maybe a bigger field axe, that sort of thing. But I'm not looking for anything expensive. I've got a lot of inexpensive gear if you've seen my previous videos, so I'm looking for some feedback on stuff like that. That Condor machete, not machete, hand axe there might be good for this, but you know, honestly, I'm looking for stuff that's not going to rust up on me in weather conditions. This is going to be sealed up tight, it's still going to be good to go, but hey, you never know. So I'm going to keep a sharpening stone, some oil to lube things up after I've used it, machete or otherwise. But I'm still looking for some feedback from you guys, and I'd like the feedback before I actually start making the video. And I would actually prefer some video responses to this. Give me your ideas. Show me what little survival cache and woodland riverside cache that you would put together. So let me open this, take the top off. I've got the Cold Steel Trail Boss here. Fits in barely, very, very barely in here. This is my newer one, the one I have not used. Reasonably affordable, big enough for bigger style tasks. Though I would say I would probably want a hatchet in here as well. Next, another Cold Steel low-cost item is a Panga machete, just for hacking through stuff, you know, brush and overgrowth, whatnot. So this is going to do the job fairly well, I think, but I'd like your input. Need some medical gear. Maybe not what we're looking at here. I just threw it in here because of my last video. Quick Lot the Quick Lock Trauma Pack, and the Mora knife with a fire steel on it. Not that I'm really looking for a fire steel necessarily, but something along those lines. You know, I may need a tarp in here. I may need a bottle of water or two just in case. I'm going to carry my own water bottles and all that and water supply in my backpack, but just in case, maybe a little survival water straw, something like that. I don't know. Another thing I'd probably want in this kit here is a small collapsible fishing rod. Little spinning reels and all that that can collapse down. Just in case I get down to the river and working on the property, clearing things out, and just need a break. You know, can I pull out that little rod and pull it out and take a little small fishing kit with some rooster tails or whatnot, and maybe some hooks, and find some bugs and worms and whatnot on the property, because there's plenty of them, and fish a little bit. You know, maybe a string or something like that. Some bungee cords, a tarp, in case I need to make a shelter in a hurry because there's a storm coming in. Because like I ran into yesterday, big storm came in. I just happened to luck out and get back after scouting things out, but I was planning on spending the time underneath a bit of cover and waiting until things got better. Maybe I need some work gloves. I definitely need some work gloves in here so I don't get calloused and chafed when I'm hacking and slashing and stuff. So what I'm thinking is a container this size at the smallest or larger that can be locked up, preferably. I'll buy that at some point on the ends with some master locks, something like that. And possibly chained to a tree. Now, I don't necessarily have to have that, but I can always store this hidden, and it's not likely to be seen, especially with a camo tarp or something like that over it from the river. So it could be stolen technically, and that's why I want to keep things cheap. I want to keep things affordable, but I want things to be useful for down by the river and down by that land that you saw. I just want things I can use. You know, do I need some gear like this? The heavy machete here from Cold Steel. Do I need the Marbles Bolo machete, etc.? I'm just looking for options and input. I'm looking for low cost yet efficient. Going to get the job done, and especially something that I don't have to worry about keeping down there if I don't have to go down there for a few weeks or two or a month, something like that. I don't think it's going to be the case, but I have to leave it down there. You know, going to keep some hunting oil and some oil to preserve the blades if they have to be carbon steel, and something to sharpen things up. But in general, I need a small kit just to keep down there for general use. So I greatly appreciate your feedback, and I'll be making vids on this over time, and we'll see what turns out. Thanks. MDPrepper out.